There are many Hatha Yoga masters. Just to hear their names is like getting their blessings. Above are some of the Hatha Yoga masters who attained the Siddhis. They not only acquired powers, but more importantly, they were able to transcend time and space and to wander on all 14 planes. Because they were able to make their prana into the Sushmana. Sometimes they come to the physical plane to help humanity if you are ready for them. They could even keep their physical body alive if they wanted to by bringing the prana into the Sushmana. One can stop the decay of the physical person by stopping the Ida and Pingala and activating the Sushmana. Such a person, one whose energy moves through the Sushmana, is called a Siddha. For him, there is no day or night, no birth or death. The Buddha referred to the above is not the Buddha most of you know about. He is one of the Hatha Yoga masters. Hatha Yoga is the refuge for all those crushed by the various types of pain. Hatha Yoga gives support to all those engaged in constant practice of yoga, supports the whole of the planet Earth. Hatha Yoga Vidya is to be greatly protected by the yogi who desires perfection, only when protected. It is effective. When not kept secret, it becomes ineffective. This is just a warning to keep the knowledge secret. Do not reveal it to just anybody. It is a vidya, a knowledge, something not meant for everybody unless they are ready. When the student comes to the teacher judges whether he is ready. Moreover, this is not something for idle broadcasting. It is just for yourself. Your practice should not be revealed to anybody else as they will not understand. It is not for public demonstration. A Hatha Yoga practitioner should stay alone in a small place in a country by a good king, which is prosperous and which is free of troubles. The spot where Hatha Yoga is practiced should be free from stones, fire, and water to the extent of a length of a bow. The country should be one where the people are not gluttons, bandits, or thugs. It must have a peaceful environment, one without terrorists, robbers, or thieves. In a big city, it is often dangerous to walk, but a country place is usually more suitable. A country ruled over by a virtuous king is one where the king is practicing dharma. Many countries are ruled over by dictators, and so there are places where it is legally forbidden to practice such things. I don't want to name them, but in certain countries, you might be arrested for these practices. We must have full freedom to follow our practice without fear of disturbance. You must also be situated in a place where food is available. You can't meditate or practice Hatha Yoga without sattvic foods such as lots of vegetables, fruit and milk. Free from rocks, water and fire. These are just very sensible instructions. The extent of a bow's length is maybe 15 or 20 yards. Don't put your tent or other dwelling within 20 yards of a slope subject to falling rocks. Don't put your dwelling in an area subject to forest fires, earthquakes, or volcanoes. Don't put your tent near a swamp which will bring you the disturbances of mosquitoes and other pests. These are all sanitary considerations, not to be passed over lightly by anyone who wants to pursue this arduous course of yoga. The qualities of Yoga Matha has been mentioned by the perfected ones practicing Hatha Yoga as follows. It should have a small entrance without windows, leveled and without holes. It should not be too high, too low, or too deep. It should be clean, smeared well with cow dung, free of all insects. Outside it should have a pleasant hall with a raised seat, a well. All this in turn should be surrounded by an outer wall. Living in such a pleasant residence, devoid of any cares, he should practice yoga in accordance with the teachings of his guru. It is not that the yoga teacher is a babysitter, constantly watching. He is guiding you. You should begin pranayama only with the guidance of a guru. Otherwise, you may not know the proper use of a diaphragm. Merely studying all the books is not going to bring the desired result. You must practice. Many people read the Bhagavad Gita or Ramayana and they do not practice. Others read Bible and then afterwards go and smoke. Such a course of action won't take you anywhere. Practice is important. The siddhis are obtained from Lord Shiva only when you are not planning to use those powers. At that time, they will come to you automatically. The siddhis or knowledge are given only to one who has devotion to the higher self, not to the ego or to the body. Devotion to the Guru is necessary also because God and the Guru are one. As God will not come to you directly to help, He has to manifest through your teacher. According to the nature of your teacher, the disciple relationship takes place. Some gurus you may have for only one day. Gurudev Sivananda's teacher had to stay for only 1 hour because Sivananda had already practiced in past lives. He became a great master after just a little further practice. Then years later, when he touched me, all my past knowledge came and he made me a Hatha Yoga professor. Master did not sit with me and teach all these things. I had been practicing from his sadhana tattva before that, but his presence was needed to bring back those past memories. A teacher is needed to awaken this knowledge from samskaras of past life. You are not just born ignorant or blind. The teacher opens samskaras either by touch, smell, teaching, etc. In ancient times, this was the most usual way for the teacher to teach. The teacher himself must have also gone through this training and disciplined his life so that he can apply that regimen to you. He must know how much he can give you because he sees your evolution. He must prescribe just like a doctor, perhaps a certain amount of japa to help reduce an overly rajasic nature. Yoga is destroyed through the following 6: overeating, too much fatigue, too much talk, following unsuitable observances, keeping company with unsuitable people, and being fickle-minded. These are warnings. Certain things will not bring you success. They will not take you to the goal. Hard physical labor is one. When you are practicing intense asanas and pranayama, you cannot cut wood for 10 hours. Just reduce it. A cold bath may be good at certain times, but not during intense pranayama. It will shatter your nerves. At such times, only a warm bath is allowed. Also, you should not sit near a fire. Just as you cannot overload yourself with food during this intense sadhana. You may not fast for more than 3 to 4 hours at the time, as this will weaken the body. You should have a moderate, balanced, limited diet. Do not go to extremes. Also, do not eat before going to bed at night, because then in the early morning you will not be able to perform pranayama properly. Yoga flourishes with the 6: enthusiasm, firm resolve, courage, knowledge of truth, determination, and giving up, company of unsuitable people. True knowledge is the knowledge that you are the self, at least theoretically. To do no harm, to speak the truth, to refrain from taking what belongs to another, to preserve continence, to practice forbearance and fortitude, to be merciful to all, to be straightforward, to be moderate in diet, and to purify oneself. These constitute yama. Straightforwardly means in the thought, word, and deed you practice the truth. Preserving conscience is especially important when you are practicing the intensive sadhana described in this book. Then you will be merciful and successful. It will be explained more a little later on. Merciful refers to ahimsa. Tapas, cheerfulness, belief in God, charity, worship of the deity, hearing the exposition of Vedantic doctrines, shame, sound mind, japa, and vratas. These constitute niyama. The experts in yoga say, since they form the first stage of Hatha Yoga, asanas are mentioned to begin with. Asanas make one's body and mind steady, keep one healthy and light of life. By now, if you understand, the asanas are not all of Hatha Yoga. They are only the first stage. I shall now mention some asanas which were recognized by sages like Vasishtha and others, and also by yogis like Matsyendra's and others.